friends, and welcome to another video from my series Quick Thoughts On, in which I always talk about different stories from the rich Star Trek universe. Last week, the next episode of Star Trek Picard premiered. It was called The End is the Beginning, and these are my honest opinions about it. I thought the first episode was pretty good, but the second episode was pretty bad. So is the third episode better? Well, slightly. It has one giant, and I mean giant problem: the pacing. Nothing really happens during most of the episode, and then suddenly it changes to an action story, and when it starts to finally get interesting, it ends. We start with another flashback, this time with Picard and Rafi. Who is Rafi? The annoying whining black woman who lives in Vasquez Rocks. But who is she? I have no clue. From the context, I think she served under Picard, sometimes between the events of Star Trek Nemesis and this show. I have seen her in animated form online, which means that she was probably introduced in the comic book, which I didn't read and don't plan to read in the near future. Isn't it fun that we live in a time in which, if you want to understand a movie or a TV show, you have to read a book, or a comic book, or a novel, or play a video game, or all of it? They talk about something which should be important, but isn't. A short version is Starfleet bad, Picard resigned, and because of that Rafi gets fired or something. I don't know, because the flashback ends and we cut to current date, to Vasquez Rocks, where she doesn't want to talk to him. But of course she will talk to him, and she doesn't want to join his mission. But of course she will. All of this is so horribly paced and so boring that these scenes feel like they are 12 hours long. The worst thing is that these scenes are absolutely pointless. We know from the beginning that she will join Picard. So what's the point? Maybe if she had an interesting character? But nope. And she smokes. And it's some drug. So yes, we have a junkie as a hero on Star Trek. Yay! Junkies and F-bombs and Federation, which is no longer the Federation, and a humanist utopia, which is no longer humanist or utopia. I don't get it. Why do you want to do Star Trek shows if you hate Star Trek so much that you want to change absolutely everything, which defines Star Trek for decades? Why don't you do your own thing? Anyway, Rafi gives Picard contact to a pilot, so he beams on his ship, and I get some very serious Star Trek Renegades vibes from this episode. And that's not a good thing. I thought the fan film was crap. So Picard is greeted by somebody who behaves like a stereotypical gay character from 90s sitcoms. We find out that this is actually the emergency medical hologram, and he brings Picard to the real captain, Cristobal Rios. And I'm confused. Are they played by the same actor? I actually originally thought that the hologram is played by the actor who played Spock on Discovery, but after seeing the captain, I thought that it's one actor playing these two characters. Is it, or do all white people look the same? Rios is such a badass mother effer that he looks like he just came out of a 90s action movie. He has a shrapnel in his arm. When I've seen it, I thought to myself, what, will he now smoke? And of course they have immediately show him smoking a cigar. So now, will he get some brandy? Well, of course he gets some brandy. These guys are just hilarious stereotypes. One is a gay stereotype, the second one is an action hero stereotype. And I thought that stereotypes were bad, but I guess I'm wrong. Of course, he will take Picard on his quest. What else should he do? So, what does Soji do in the meantime? I guess that's the name of the twin sister of Dash. She is still working on the Borg cube, and this is the first time we meet the director of the program. The series behaved like I should know who that guy is, but I had no clue until somebody dropped his name. Hugh. Okay, so this is what happened to the former Borg named Hugh, who got saved by Picard. Interesting. I still don't understand why are humans working on a Romulan project reclaiming the Borg, and it's episode 3. Are they prisoners of the Romulans? Are they normal workers? Are Romulans and humans now allies, even though the Federation refused to save them? Explanations? Please? Oh right, who needs explanations, right? Soji and Hugh go to see an XB, which is a horrible shortcut for an X-Borg. They go to see a woman called Ramda. All of the XBs appear to be mentally ill, but Soji appears to have a suspicious amount of knowledge about Ramda. Ramda claims that she knows her, and that she knows her from tomorrow, which sounds perfectly reasonable, but then she claims that Soji is the destroyer, and tries to grab a guard's gun. But Soji is faster than her, so she saves the day. But she still manages to ask Soji which sister she is, if she's the one who dies or the one who lives. So Soji FaceTimes with her mom, asking her if Dash is okay. The quote-unquote mom claims everything is fine, and Soji falls asleep. Oh, the women and their mothers. But I guess that's supposed to be not a normal thing, but something weird. Did you forget that you told us that she is an android? Oh, sorry, a synthetic. There is no mystery. The Romulan spy goes to check her and then reports to his sister, Agent Rizzo, and they have a very weird relationship. They should be brother and sister, right? Why do they behave like an opening to some very sick porn or Game of Thrones? Not sure if I should be disgusted or excited or both. Dr. Jurati gets a visit from the head of Star Trek Security, Commodore O, and her sunglasses. She claims that she's a Vulcan, but I guess she's supposed to be a Romulan working for the Tal Shiar or Zhervash. I called her a Romulan in the last episode because she behaves like a Romulan agent, but now we should accept that she's a Vulcan. Sure, whatever. So, back in Picard's chateau, he prepares for his last big adventure, when they suddenly get visited by men in black with motorcycle helmets who try to kill them all. But his elf Romulan servants are pretty good killers, almost like there's not supposed to be normal servants. I guess I should read the comic books. Picard puts out his cane and tries to be the professional killer with it, and he is relatively successful. That's not what I expected to see. What will he do in the next episode? Will he yell at some kids that they should get off his lawn? Finally, he grabs a gun and starts to be useful, and during this action scene I realized what is my biggest problem with this show. It's called Star Trek Picard, but Picard is the least important character in it. After the fight ended, suddenly a last attacker arrives, but he gets shot to the back by Dr. Jurati. What is she doing here? Why is she there? She wants to go with Picard to find Bruce Maddox and the other robot girl. The Romulan lady wakes up the biker and asks why they attacked Picard's house and why they killed Dash. The only thing he tells them is that she is the destroyer, which is the same thing as the crazy X-Borg says about her sister. Then he spits at the male Romulan servant and he spits on himself. The servant's coat starts to burn but doesn't hurt him, and the Romulan assassin disintegrates. So Picard beams to the ship of Captain Rios, where he finds Rafi. She of course changed her mind. Did anybody expect something else? She found Bruce Maddox and now wants to join the crew. Agnes Jurati, of course, goes with them, so we have the crew and the ship can start the mission. Picard even gives his engage command. Why Picard? He's only the passenger, right? Whatever, the ending actually got me excited after the beginning almost made me fall asleep. So what will happen next? The closing credits. Oh. Well, the problems of the first 2 episodes are kept even in the third one. The editing is still very bad, the pacing has still serious issues, and the writing has still too many problems, and I seriously doubt it will get any better. So it's probably time to deal with it. However, it's still slightly better than the last episode. After the previous episode I was considering not watching the rest. After this episode I can't wait what's going to happen next. And the next episode is probably going to be epic based on the trailer. It looks like they're going to Rivendell to see help from Master Elrond and his elves. Overall, on my standard scale from 0 to 10, where 0 is complete garbage, 5 is just average, and 10 is a masterpiece, I would give this episode 5 out of 10. The scenes between Picard and Rafi are boring, but the ending saved the episode for me. But as always, those are just my opinions. Let me know, what do you think about this episode? Did you love it, hate it, or did you think it was just okay? Let me know down in the comment section. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button and let me know what do you think about the series so far. In my opinion, it's better than Discovery or Short Treks, but we have seen only the first 3 episodes. So, thank you very much for watching and see you very soon. Bye.